Hey, welcome back to Fire and Water Cooking. I am Darren, of course, and today, like I said in my last video, we're gonna do some comparisons between beef belly and pork belly. And today, I'm actually gonna make some beef bacon and pork bacon. So that's what I got here. I got some beef belly and some pork belly, and we're gonna cure this up, and it's gonna take a while, at least 7 to 10 days to get it cured, but then we're gonna take it out, smoke it up, and make some bacon. All right, guys, so I'll be right back, show you how I'm gonna get this started.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from Fire and Water.
All right, guys, so today is the first day of prep for this. So it's gonna take, like I said, about 7 to 10 days for this to cure. I'm gonna go ahead and check it in 7, and if it's done next week, in 7 days, I'll finish up this video and show you how we're gonna finish it off. But right now, like I said, we're just getting it ready. It's gonna take a few days for this to cure. So I got my pork belly here and I got my beef belly, and as you can see, they're pretty similar in the fat layer that they have. This is Costco pork belly, so it doesn't have the skin on it. Usually you would remove the skin if you bought a pork belly with the skin on it. To make bacon, you would remove the skin, but since this is from Costco, they don't keep the skin on theirs, so they just have it without it. So first thing you got to do, just like with any type of cured meat, and that's what bacon is, we got a mixture of pink curing salt and regular kosher salt in here, and I did put a little bit of pepper. You don't need to put that in there. I only did it, anytime you add stuff to a cure or a brine, it really just seasons the surface of the meat. It doesn't get penetrated deep into the meat, just for the fact that salt is the only thing that actually changes the chemical. I mean, it's a chemical process, so it changes itself and it actually gets into the meat. That's a process called diffusion, and that's what sodium chloride can do. It actually gets deep into the meat, but it doesn't drag any of those other flavors with it. So if you put garlic or anything else in there, even the pepper, it won't get dragged into the meat itself. It'll just stay on the surface, which is still seasons it up some, and that's what we're gonna do. And I'll probably put a little bit more seasoning on it after we take it out of the cure. So pretty much all I have in here, and I'm gonna send you to a website. There's gonna be a link below. It's called eatcuredmeat.com, and there is a curing calculator on there. You wanna make sure you use that, or you get an exact measurement, because you don't wanna use too much pink curing salt. It takes very little pink curing salt to actually cure the meat. The rest of this is kosher salt, so it's very small. I think I got there's like 100 grams of salt here and less than 10 grams of pink curing salt. So it's exactly what the calculator told me for this amount of meat. So I think I got about 2.5 to 3 pounds of each here, and that's what we're gonna do. I got it all measured out. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on top, pretty much coat this, and then we're gonna go ahead. I'm dry curing, I'm not wet curing. There's 2 different ways to do it. Some people like to do the wet cure, which is putting it in a tub of water and letting it sit in the water and let the water kind of dilute the salts and all that. I just actually do this as a dry cure, just like dry brining. You just put it on the surface. So just so you know, dry cure, go to eatcuredmeat.com. It's got a calculator for both wet and dry curing, just so you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and just sprinkle it liberally all over the meat. And like I said, you're not really seasoning it now, you're just putting the cure on. And it's just like if I was dry brining a steak. So you can really put a bunch of this on. When you do that calculator though, it's going to tell you how much you need, so you won't have a whole lot extra. It's just going to tell you enough just to cover the meat, because that's all you really want to do. Just cover it on all sides. What I normally do is I'll shake it off of the top. I'll hit the edges here when I flip it back to the other side. And don't be afraid if you put, too much on, just using the stuff that's on the, have a pan here to catch it and use that to catch the extra. Like I said, I'm gonna get this other end here, do the same thing with the pork, just to get a nice even coat. And that's it, guys. We're gonna put this in vacuum bags and then stick it in the refrigerator for 7 days. We'll check it next week just to make sure that it's ready, and we'll take it out then, and we're gonna finish it up. So pork belly, beef belly, bacon, we're gonna make it. I'll see you in 7 days. All right, guys, I'm back. It's been a week, and these bellies, here is the pork belly and the beef belly, have both cured. I can tell just from the color, looking into the bag here, that they've cured pretty much all the way through. So we're gonna go ahead and take these out. And one of the things you wanna do when you're curing anything, after it's done curing, you wanna wash the exterior really good. Get a lot of that salt out of there. Since we did the equilibrium cure, I don't have to worry about being too much salt and have to desalinate this. Usually when you buy something that's a commercial, like a corned beef or something like that, they tend to over cure it, and they actually put a bunch of that cure inside the bag, and you usually have a bunch of that moisture in there. And what that normally does, it makes it really, really salty, and you usually got to soak that out of there. But when you do the equilibrium cure, you really don't need to do that. You just need to kind of wash off the outside. Then we're going to cold smoke this for about 8 to 10 hours. So I'm going to show you how to do that. But let's get this out of the bag, washed up, and I'll be back when I'm seasoning it up. All right, guys, so you can see there just how they look. They're cured all the way through. I've washed as much of that stuff off as I could get. There's still going to be a little bit of that pepper on there. So that's it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get the smoker set up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on my M36 because it's got enough room in there to put both of these. And I'm going to put my smoker tube in here, which is going to give us the smoke without heating up the bacon and cooking it. I really don't need it to cook. I want it to just get the smoke to it. It's already been cured, so it doesn't really need to be cooked anymore. We're going to cook it up, when we fry it. So I just want this to get the smoke and get the smoke, as much smoke to it as possible. And by cold smoking, that's kind of what we're doing. So I'll take you over to the grill, show you how we're going to get that set up. And like I said, about 8 hours or so, and it should be good enough. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, as you can tell, the smoker is a really good size here. So I got the smoker tube's going to go on this far right side. I'm going to light it with my Sear Pro torch. It's going to make it nice and easy. The pellets will last a good 6 hours, maybe a little bit longer. It doesn't take that long to get these lit. We're just going to blow that flame out, and the smoke will just smoke that bacon. So we're going to put the bacon on. The smoke's going to come across the top and come out the top. All right, guys, it's been about 5 hours or so, maybe 6. It looks like my smoke tube is done. Looks like we got plenty of smoke on these two bellies. Take a look at that up close there and personal. So I think we're going to go ahead and take these off. So it's been, like I said, almost 6 hours. So I think it looks pretty good to me, pretty smoky. We're going to go ahead and take these off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put them in vacuum sealer bags. I'm going to vacuum seal them up, and I'll put them in the refrigerator overnight. And this way it'll firm this back up. It'll get some of that smoke, hold on to some of that smoke, permeate it into the bacon, maybe just a little bit more. And in the morning, we'll cut some of this up, try it out. All right, let me get this all in the bag, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and bag this up. And like I said, technically it's finished. You could actually cut this up and start cooking it now if you wanted to. But I've found that taking these and letting them rest in the refrigerator overnight at least will help firm it up some. It'll tighten up that fat, because even though we weren't cooking this, it still got kind of heated up in there in the smoke, and that fat's kind of gelatinous. I can feel it's kind of warm, plus it's kind of warm out. So just being able to get this to firm up overnight in the refrigerator is going to help it have a better texture when you're trying to cut it into pieces and all that. And that's it. We get this vacuumed up. I'll see you guys in the morning. We'll take this out, take a couple slices, and taste it up. All right, guys, I'm back. It is the next morning. I'm going to go ahead and take out the beef bacon here. Like I said, the beef bacon I can kind of tell because it's got a little bit less of a fat cap, and it's actually a smaller piece of meat than the pork belly. So we're going to go ahead and take these out. They've been sitting in the refrigerator overnight. And like I said, I did that just to kind of firm it up. So when I cut it here, it's a little bit easier to cut. And since we vacuum sealed it, all that smoke that was on the outside kind of stayed in there. There we go. Both smelling pretty good, pretty smoky. And I'm going to use just cook it on my pan right here, on my there we go. My Hexclad pan, using my portable stove here from Gas One. Comes in handy. I didn't want to fire up the big griddle because I'm not making a whole bunch. I just want to make a couple pieces here so you guys can see how it turned out. So, pork bacon there, looks like regular pork bacon, and my beef bacon. The beef bacon looks like it's got a little bit more fat. Right here, but very similar looking. Both 7-day cured, equilibrium cure. Get them fry up a little bit. Don't want them to burn. All right, guys, I let that cool down just a little bit so we can take a test bite here. It's the pork bacon. Tastes just like really good pork bacon. Like I said, I didn't put any sugar on this, so that salt and pepper is really coming out. Here's your beef bacon. Hot still. Pretty awesome, man. They taste very similar. The beef is a little bit chewier, but it still has that bacon flavor. So, you have to go in for another one of those. Wow, it's good stuff, guys. Check it out if you've never made your own bacon. You can do it with beef belly or pork belly. I suggest you try it out, guys, if you've never done it, because it's really good. Can't stop eating it. But bacon, it's our life, right? Thanks for watching, guys. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Check out the Fire and Water cooking seasonings and sauces on our website or on Amazon or Walmart.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Make your own bacon, guys. Beef or pork belly. It's awesome. Thanks for watching.